Okay. Welcome to the Curators Chat. It's your girl, Brucie Ana, and I have my friend over here, Lucky Lee. She is a curator for poetry nights.
Take your time.
I'm trying to be like professional, but I'm so silly. I'm just too silly. I know that you curate poetry nights. I know you're also working with another group called Tap D&T. I know that you started out at Japs with your poetry nights.
Correct.
But I don't know where you went because I know you've kind of like flowed to some other like different bars and different places, but I don't necessarily know where you at now. Where are we at now with Wordplay Thursday?
So Wordplay Thursday is every third Thursday at Somerset. Currently, we also have a Zodiac series that One Lucky Tap Tribe is doing. So this coming Thursday, we're going to have a Aries themed bash as like the after party for Wordplay Thursday.
Okay.
Yep, this coming Thursday.
This is going to be out after this Thursday. So what day? What is the date for that?
So Wordplay Thursday is every third Thursday. The Zodiac series is once a month, just depending on where we go, because we try to curate it specifically for the Zodiac. So different venues, different entertainment, different themes, things of that nature.
Oh yeah, I'm going to have to get me on the Leo one day.
Yeah.
Because, Leo season is right around the corner. Mm-hmm. Come on, my Leos.
Literally.
But what is Lucky and Tribe now? What is Lucky? Because, girl, how many people you work with? Hold on.
Yeah, it's the collaborations.
His mama's is busy.
Look,
His mama's is busy.
It's important though. Gotta keep everybody together, But so One Lucky Tap Tribe is the trio of myself, Amani Productions, and then Tapped Entertainment. So
cheers
we do. Oh yeah, absolutely. Cheers. Thank you.
You got the tap.
I feel like you got to do the tap. But anyways, so One Lucky Tap Tribe. We started with Freaky Fridays at Queen City Radio. So that was like the birthing place. We're actually talking about going back to Queen City Radio. So that's something to be looking out for if you guys are looking for Freaky Friday themed events. But yeah, as of right now, we're currently in the middle of that series. So we started with the Scorpio Shindig towards the end of the year, and then kept the ball rolling with Sagittarius season. Then we did Capricorn. Right? Yep. Mm-hmm,
that makes sense. Had to start with you.
Yep. Me and G. You know what's crazy? So me and G are both like the main Scorpios from Unlucky Tap Tribe. And so we always had just like an extra bond about it. But we just recently learned at the Aquarius event that we have the exact same big three and just...
I'm not so like he's like the male version of you, basically.
Yeah, literally.
That's why I'd be like just so quick.
And so we put our heads together. Well, really, I'm not gonna lie, like G is a mastermind. So a lot of the ideas and everything that he pitched and the passion, the drive he's had for this Zodiac series specifically is unmatched. Absolutely unmatched. But yeah, that's my big three twin.
Okay. So what exactly would you say is the difference between the Zodiac event that you put on and what other events that you would put on? Say it's like what you have with Tap. Like, what is the difference between the three, like the other different places and people that you work with and the different events that you put on? Because you do so much. So
yeah, no, seriously.
So you got poetry, and then how would you describe the other events that you put on?
Yeah, so I like to, I don't know, One Lucky Tap Tribe just feels like a multiverse type of event. We like it to be a multifaceted, like a multifaceted event that people can depend on, but also it's good for everybody who wants to come out and enjoy their time. But we have like rave areas and dance parties put on by Tapped Entertainment for those who like to go out and dance. We also have the music side of things with the.
So if I want to shake my ass, I go to Tap.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's definitely But no,
I know I like to do that. So I'd be happy to know where I could go get a little 1-2 in.
Yeah, exactly. But now, and then we have like the poetry side of it. But in terms of my DPS events where we do Wordplay Thursday, that's just specifically poetry. So very calm setting. We bring flowers, low lights, very intimate type of call and response style.
Yeah.
Rooms for sure.
Yeah. So I know you got your start in I would say probably the industry, that's kind of what I call the industry, of creators in Cincinnati. I just call it the industry, people who do poetry, rap, dance, sing, just all of that. I feel like we all end up in the same place. We all end up like meshing around and like everybody knows everybody. So I got to know you from you doing poetry and seeing you at poetry nights and stuff like that. So what made you want to start hosting your own events and then start working with other people on top of that?
Well, actually, like, so when I had started doing poetry, it was damn near like I don't know, it was I would say a coming of age moment. Thank you. But what really brought me into like performing and hosting and curating and all that was shortly before I started attending poetry open mics. I actually used to be a nail tech. Like I was teaching myself, getting really good clients. I had put really good work out. And
you stopped doing nails right when I met you.
Girl, it was hurt. So
yeah, I forgot about that.
I was dealing with some nerve issues at the time. And so I was in the hospital dealing with that. And so when I had just got out the hospital, you said
I hurt my feelings. Never mind.
But I got out the hospital and I hadn't like restocked any of my product, anything like that. And one of my friends, a celebrity clothing designer, was down in Cincinnati with Carisha with him and was like, hey, she needs a nail tech, and was trying to like set me up. I'm like, I don't have any product. Like I'm not about to have my first celebrity client with literally nothing to work with. Like that is absolutely terrible. And even then still, like at the time I was thinking what was adding to my nerve issues was because I was breathing in those chemicals and stuff like that all the time. So I'm like, all right. So I handed off the opportunity to another nail tech, but then it's like, after that, I felt like I had to give up my passion. So I was just so like, I'm like, what do I do now? Like,
you still ain't been able to do nails? You still can't do nails?
No, not really. These, like, I can do like limited stuff. Like I've been doing like.
What's your nerve issues? Like, is it in your?
No, it's in my neck. I have occipital neuralgia, and so like when I would get flare-ups, like it would force my eyes shut. Like it would tense up my jaw. Like, and it would shoot all the way down because where this nerve sits in the back of your neck, it would go down my shoulder. I would be like.
My dad has cervical disc disease, so like his disc like collapsed on one of his nerves, and he couldn't like move his arm this way, but he could move it this way.
It was
crazy.
So yeah, like I started writing. I'd always written poetry just like in my notes, just some little stuff, whatever. But then I started attending these open mics and listening to these poets, and I just was so inspired. I'm like, wow, I'm like, I feel like I could do this. Like I used to be a theater kid, but then like I kind of got out of it because like I got stage fright one time, and then I couldn't
Where did you
go
do
back.
Theater?
Just in school, like
I realized I had stage fright very early on.
Yeah.
No, like I got into performing arts in the 4th grade for drama. Really great, very natural actress. I'm a very natural actress, but when I was so young and then like it was so crazy. We are in class, I can do it perfectly fine, monologue for everybody in my class, but we get into that like, it's called the black box, and you got all these other classes and all the big kids and all the different other teachers, and it was just so much. It was just so overwhelming. I would damn near shit myself every fucking, what we would call boards. I would shit myself every boards. To the point where I just quit. I switched majors. I switched to instrumental music. So where I don't have to talk to people. I don't have to like be in front of people in that kind of way. It's like, it's easier to be able to sit there and look at a sheet of paper than to look at people and have to engage with people when you're like that young. And I don't know, so many older kids. It was so intimidating because there was so many older kids. It's so many like just classes and like teachers. It was so overwhelming for a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
In the 4th grade for a 9-year-old.
Shit, for people in general, the number one fear in the world is public speaking. Number 2 is death. So it's like everybody has that. To this day, I still have that fear.
Fun fact.
Yeah, no, honestly. But now when I was a kid, like. I had like leads in the little like school plays and stuff like that. Like I was really good at it, and actually like I had a drama class. It wasn't for like theater, nothing like that. It was just a drama class that I had to take in school, and my crush was in that class. And I went in there and I was cocky. Like we had a monologue. I'm like, cake, I got this. And I got up there, and when I tell you I choked, I blanked on the entire monologue, and I just stood there and I stood off in the space, and the harder I tried to think about it, the less it was coming back to me. And then my teacher was like, Cameron, you can sit down now. I'm like, oh my, I was so embarrassed. After that, I never wanted to speak in front of people ever again.
You just stood there?
I just stood there. Because it's like I was trying so hard to like remember the words, but the more I stressed out, it just was pushing it further and further out of my mind. Oh yeah, absolutely. I know I did. I could feel it in my body.
Yeah.
Beat red. I know I did.
And now here you are doing poetry in front of groups of people. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's been a journey, but I love it because it's like.
And here I am on podcast talking to people on the internet.
But hey, we're both kind of doing the same work though. We're unearthing those parts of ourselves. You know what I mean? Like that's beautiful. It's a process.
Because I mean, I used to cry, boo-hoo cry at boards. I mean, I am ashamed of it now looking back. Like, girl, it was never that deep. You know, when you're a kid looking back at like how you reacted, even like as a grown woman now, I look back at even like things I reacted on months ago or like anything. Like I just, dang, it was never that deep.
Mm-hmm.
Just always remember, it's never that deep.
Yeah.
It's never that deep. Yeah. Back to poetry. I used to write poetry when I was younger. Yeah. I feel like
I can tell you're very witty. Like your way with words. I can like it. If you hadn't already written poetry, I would believe that you would be a great poet.
What's funny is I'm not good at spelling, and I'm not good at like. I just don't be feeling like I'm good at like grammar and whatnot because I speak so much. So like ebonics.
But that doesn't that adds to it though. Like that's your work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, you sorry. I feel like unless you're trying to be like a collegiate level style poet, that's like I don't know. Like I feel like written poetry and spoken poetry can be two completely different things.
You know something too? I feel like most people who are good at poetry have also done things in theater as well. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, people who are like good at just like artistry and like the performative aspect, like you gotta be good at like both the acting part. Because even when you're on that stage, like no matter what you're doing, if you're singing, you're acting, like it's gonna always be a performance.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always like you turning into somebody else, like right now.
Literally, you gotta put yourself in that mindset. Like that's how you give a good performance. You gotta act like you're feeling it in the moment. Whatever you're singing about, speaking about, it's very theatrical for sure.
So what all goes into starting your own events, would you say? Like, as far as like, what advice would you give to someone who wants to start putting their own events, whether it be poetry, whether it be cheeky ass parties, discos, discos for the host. That should be the next party name.
Yeah.
A disco for the host. I was just saying Disco Monday.
Yeah.
Because I was just, who was I saying something about disco too? Were you here earlier? What was I saying? What did I say? Disco Monday instead of Mellow Moose? Disco Moose. That's what I was saying. Disco Moose.
That would be sick.
Instead of Disco Moose. What did I say before that? Was y'all following? Nobody listen? No. Disco what? Disco for the hoes. Yes, that's what I said. God damn. Where are y'all at? Y'all all high too?
Yeah.
Okay, y'all watching shit, you had to. You should always be high when you're watching me, I should say, because I'm high. So get on my level, huh? Get on my level, man. Anyways. So, oh no, I'm good, friends. I ain't even gonna dare to make it like that. So can you share with me like a major challenge you have faced with like organizing some of these events you've organized? I mean, I know about one of the recent ones. You ain't gotta talk about that one.
Yeah.
You don't want to. Especially since I know it's like recent. It could be some shit still ongoing with that. But what can you say would be like one of the major challenges you've dealt with? Or something that stuck out to you?
Shit, it's all out on the table now at this point. Like, but really, if I'm being absolutely transparent, a lot of time it's conduct within these venues. And, that's not to point fingers or try to, push any mess or do anything of that nature. But yeah, I think a lot of times trying to fight and create safe and inclusive platforms just it's tough territory to be in, especially in this day and age of what's going on with all these specific venue owners downtown.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I think that the way that we have persisted and the way that we have stuck with our community in order to make things still safe and still honorable to them and their talents, I think that's really what's keeping us together and kind of supporting the support that we have, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's why it's called Tribe, for real.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, yeah.
Honestly, it's remarkable, to say the least.
This chair is wobbly to the mouth, footy.
Over here, like, rock the boat, rock the boat. Hey. Sing it. But honestly, I feel like Cincinnati it's so weird. Like, I feel like even when it kind of starts to feel like it's getting a little bit better, since we're getting so many different new restaurants, new venues, new places, and new things that are popping downtown, that, you know, it would get better with it. I don't want to fuck that word up. Inclusivity. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
Okay. It would get a little bit better with that, but it's still just like, I don't know. Some of it doesn't really surprise me a lot of the times. Like, it doesn't really surprise me sometimes.
And I feel like that's the key right there. Is it's so unfortunate because you would think
just a little bit. Sometimes.
You would think at this day and age you would want to be on the like you would think I was gonna say the correct side of gentrification, but like
yeah. I mean, that's what's happening. That's exactly what's happening in downtown Cincinnati, especially downtown Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So, on the positive note, what would you say would be your favorite event that you have like put on so far and curated?
My favorite event?
Yeah, like overall, between all of them, Tapped, One Tribe, Wordplay, all
That's
of
a
it.
great question. While Taptopia that I just did, the Taptopia 3 production was a close second, I would say that Freaky Fridays was my favorite. Specifically, Fashion Friday when we did that. Because that was an incredible event.
That was nice. I will say I definitely like the fashion shows.
Yeah, it was.
I didn't get to come to many of them, but the ones I did get to see, it was really nice.
Yeah.
Really well put together. I give that to y'all, for sure. Mm-hmm. So you said Freaky Friday, and what was the other one you just said?
Taptopia 3.
So what was Taptopia 3? Because I definitely missed Taptopia 3, and I'm sorry for that. But what exactly was Taptopia 3? Because I know there was like, it seemed to have been like something like a play of some sort. Like, was there acting? Like, what was happening?
Yeah, so it was a theatrical production meets a showcase. So we had a showcase of some of the leading Cincinnati rappers and artists, and then we met with a mostly improv play. So we had like a skeletal structure of certain points that we were supposed to hit, and we conducted it like a counseling session.
Okay.
I was Dr. Lee, so I kind of
okay.
led it and, you know, had everybody come up and do their presentations and their projects, and then that was like the showcase part of it. So
okay.
It was
that seems like something that comes natural to you. I feel like people be like opening up to you all the time and just like laying it on you.
Yeah, no, like I mean, Yeah, I feel like it comes with the territory. I feel like whenever you are a poet and you have the capacity to show vulnerability through what you say, it just makes people comfortable with being vulnerable with you.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a blessing, can be a curse, but it's a blessing above all.
So, okay, speaking of poetry, because I just love poetry so much. Who is your favorite poet in Cincinnati? Is this bad? Am I putting you on the spot? Is this messy?
It's like, I don't know if because picking a favorite is hard. Because I feel like
Lucky Lee.
Yeah, like.
It could just be Lucky Lee.
Nah, I feel like that's too. That's not honest. Like, I feel like there's just incredible artists.
Okay,
here.
well,
like,
how about if I give you top? What? Can you do 3 or do you need 5? We'll do 3. Come on,
because it's so that's so, and it's local, and it's like that's all my friends, all of my favorite poets. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta shout out DPS. I gotta shout out, all the local slam poets and shit. Like all the poets that were in the showcase, Yamani Prince Eder, like all incredible poets.
Shout out to all Cincinnati poets.
Right, exactly.
Well, one more curator question before I ask you. So, what would you say are the most important steps that you make to try to turn events that you've like dreamed about, or like you've kind of like thought about or talked to people? What steps do you make, the most important ones, to turn those into reality?
So, I'm sorry, Frank. You like
what steps do you like? What are the most important things that you try to like make sure happen to turn any event that you do into reality? Like, I know the space. Other than the space, like what about that space, or like what might you want to happen there? Like, even if it's not the poetry, or like even if it's like the dance night, what would you want to make sure is going to happen and be available to curate an event?
That's a good question. So specifically with poetry, it becomes a little tricky because you want to make sure that you can provide a space that's intimate enough that these poets feel catered to, because that's a large part of it, right?
Okay.
Like, it's not a typical like just open mic. You can have it like a karaoke bar, like everything loud and in between. Like, you want to make sure these people have so if I'm able to get venues that have like separate rooms or spaces away from the bar area, typically that's what I go for, because I like the conversational aspect to it. We encourage people to talk to these poets, shout out rewinds and take your times and all the little call words that we have, and encourage them. So
speaking of call words, how about you educate the people who don't go to poetry nights, on different type of things to call out if you go to a poetry night? Like, so
there's a bunch that you'll hear. Like, there's a culmination of ones that have accumulated from people like Ty, my poetry mother is bad. They use a lot of these, and then some of the added ones over the years, you'll hear rewinds, which is if you want to hear somebody say something again.
Yeah, something impactful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, that's a bars no right there. It's okay. Yeah, say that again, please. Take your time. If you see somebody maybe getting choked up, or like they lost their spot on the page, you want to be reassuring to them. Let them know that we're here to listen to you. Take your time. It's cool. Like, new shit. That's
I ain't gonna lie, I like new shit.
I just, it's crazy. The last poetry night that I went to at Nostalgia with Ty, she brought the originator of new shit to the stage, and I guess I think he was from Dayton, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, she brought him up there, and then, but yeah, he that was really cool. So that's just for new shit, if you couldn't tell. So, and then there's another one that I'm missing. New shit. Versions to the mic. That's another Thai special. Like, If you got somebody who's never been on the mic before, you gotta pop the cherry. So
Yeah.
you gotta merge into the mic. The people say, go ahead, encourage them, make them feel right at home.
My last and final question. Who would you say I should have on my podcast next? Who is a curator that you feel like should come on and shed some spotlight to events that they put on, things that they might do?
I would say Ty, actually.
Okay.
I feel like I already shouted her out a good couple of times.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah. Okay. I like Ty. I have not actually spent time with Ty outside of poetry.
Really?
No, but I will definitely enjoy this conversation.
She's incredible. Yeah. No,
definitely.
she's
Shout
definitely,
out to Ty.
Yeah.
And I will definitely be hitting you up soon, girl.
Yeah, she's definitely got the personality for it too, the conversational aspect.
Yeah, okay. Then, hopefully very soon we will have a little studio space. Give us the good vibes for it. Well, thank you for coming to the Curators Chat. Shout out to Lucky Lee. Lucky, tell the people what you have coming up next. Tell them what's happening coming up soon. I know you said today right now is April. We're in April. So April the what? This Thursday, April the 17th, what's the event?
Oh, on the 17th. So on the 17th, we have Wordplay Thursday at Somerset. Then we have the Aries event at Fuel for the after party.
Okay.
Also coming up, Poetic Vogue is back at the end of the month, hosted by Fresh the Poet Hughes. And then
what is it called?
It's called Poetic Vogue. We're gonna be at the Greenwich now.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
New location. Yep.
Okay, Walnut Hills. Shout out to Greenwich.
Yeah.
Is it Greenwich or Greenwich?
I thought it was Greenwich, but when I hear people talk about it, they say Greenwich, so I'm like, okay.
It's probably Cincinnati slang for you. It's not Reading Road, it's written. Yep. Yeah. So you have Wordplay Thursday, Aries event, and then after that you said?
Yeah, Poetic Vogue is at the end of the month.
Okay. What day of the week is that on?
I believe it's a Friday.
On Friday, okay. End of the month on Friday. So all these different events going on. Again, shout out to Lucky Lee and tell the people where they can find you at.
You can find me on Instagram at Lucky Lee, that's Lucky.L33, and then on Facebook at Lucky Lee. TikTok, also Lucky Lee, I believe.
So thank you guys for coming. Hope to see you guys soon. Peace. Did I do good that time? you.